You're listening to a Frequency Podcast Network production.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
This is the Brock and Dalby Podcast.
Welcome to Friday. My name is Brock.
I'm Dalby. And for once, I got to work before you today.
Yeah.
That was a big moment for me, mostly because I just couldn't sleep. So I got out of bed early and I got started on my day earlier than normal. I even had enough time this morning to stop through a McDonald's drive-thru on my way in. And that's when I saw someone picking up McDelivery at like 4:40 in the morning.
Can you get skip the dishes like 24/7? Is that a thing?
I don't think it's a limitation on the companies necessarily so much as if the restaurants are open and willing to make the food and someone's willing to come pick it up. Yeah, I guess you can.
I mean, so in my mind, if you're ordering like skip at like 4 a.m., you're either hammered or you're working the night shift.
Yeah, that's just it. I struggle to imagine a situation where someone wakes up at 4 in the morning, grabs their phone, and immediately orders McDelivery to like wake up to.
Yeah.
It feels more like I'm ending my day, like you said, sober or otherwise. I'm coming to an end here.
Yeah, it's like having a lady of the night come by your house.
Yeah, that's not something you do to start your day. That's the nightcap.
I mean,
Perfect comparison.
you want to start your day off that way. It's up to you, brother.
No judgment.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
I've known you for like 6 years now.
Yeah.
And I always hear you complain about U2, but I don't think you've ever gave me like a justified reason on why you hate U2.
I think what it is I grew up in the Much Music, like MTV era of television, and they were always on. Like they were always on with their videos and they were always on the radio. And to be honest, I've yet to hear one song that I enjoy.
Really?
One song that I would listen to recreationally, and yet they're everywhere.
I feel like U2 kind of gets the Nickelback treatment ever since they put their album on like everybody's iPod.
Oh, that was definitely a nice moment for me because it was fun to see all these people come over to my side. To be clear, I was already there.
But you can't deny, like, Bono's a good singer.
I can. No, absolutely I
No?
can. There's nothing about Bono that I find entertaining.
At least, okay, if you don't like Bono, you got to admit that The Edge is a pretty decent guitar player.
Do you put him in anybody's top 10?
I mean...
Top 20? Top 50?
Maybe top 50.
Like, if you walked into a bar on a Saturday night and he was noodling around on a guitar outside, would you drop a toonie? Or would you just head on in with the rest of the fellas?
I think I'd take The Edge over Bono, like...
Well, sure. I mean, I guess there's a bar at the bottom of the barrel, too. Like, saying you'd have one over the other doesn't make either good.
There's no way I could persuade you that U2's decent.
We're just too far now. It's too ingrained in who I am. You know when you hate something long enough? It'd be like asking you if there's any way to get you to cheer for the Montreal Canadiens. I'm a 41-year-old man who's been hating U2 since the age of like 7. I'm not coming around now. We're done. Me and Bono are not on the same team.
I will say it does piss me off how Bono always wears sunglasses.
That's just it. And that's what makes it worse, right? Is because I only ever knew the music and I didn't like it. And it got pushed down my throat because it was everywhere. And then you got to know the band and you got to start seeing them in the videos and the interviews and stuff like that. I'm like, I get that Bono does stuff that's good for humanity.
He does a lot of charity stuff.
And I understand that the band is successful. I do not knock them for either of those things. But I hate their music, and he seems like the guy that you could maybe make it 8 minutes in a conversation with before you wanted to trip him down some stairs.
Yeah.
Honestly. Am I wrong?
I mean...
It might be out of pocket to say it, but I'm not wrong.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
We've got a lot of hot takes coming in here. We asked you, what band do you hate, and would you care to explain why? We've got friend of the show, Adam, on the phone. What's it for you, man?
I hate Pearl Jam.
Why's
I
that?
have to mute your radio station every time they come on.
What about Pearl Jam don't you like?
He mumbles words in every song. I have no idea what he's saying. And half his songs are just the same lyric repeated over and over for 3 minutes. And holy crap, my hair gets shorter every time.
But, like, you're going to tell me that when Eddie Vedder comes on and he says, That doesn't get you in the soul?
Did you just sing every one of their songs?
All right. I can't take the Pearl Jam slander this morning.
To be clear, I'm a Pearl Jam guy, but I get what he's saying.
All right, we got someone else here. What band do you hate?
Guns N' Roses, because when he sang for AC/DC, he did a horrible job.
I thought it was kind of regarded that Axl did a pretty good job for AC/DC.
Everybody's got their own opinions.
Well, sure.
So is it Guns N' Roses or is it just Axl that you hate?
Oh, basically just Axl.
If they got a new singer, you might be cool with them.
Maybe.
I guess it's kind of like one of those things, like you can have a best friend in the world, but if he sleeps with your girlfriend, like,
Not friends anymore.
yeah. All right, let's take one more call here.
These are spicy so far.
What's your hot take? What band don't you like?
Yeah, the Tragically Hip.
Oof.
Wow.
Why do you hate the Tragically Hip?
Because they're no talented. They're not even a good garage band.
Oh, man. Oh, God.
I know he's done a lot for the music industry for Canada, but it's too much screaming and crap.
Too much screaming?
Guy can't sing a freaking verse.
I don't think I've ever heard anyone say that before, but I think the Tragically Hip is one of those bands that you're sold on them or you're not.
Yeah.
Hey, a lot of people like the Hip. He's done a lot, but I just think they were way overrated. There's better Canadian bands out there than them.
Brother, you better hope the government isn't listening. You might lose your citizenship this morning.
I got the secret squirrels watching me all the time, dude.
Stay safe out there, brother. Elbows up.
Hey, you take your elbows up too, buddy.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
We asked you the question, what band do you hate, and could you explain why?
Mine's actually not really a band, but it's Boris Pickett, the song The Monster Mash.
The Halloween song?
Yes, the Halloween song. I hate his voice. He's not really singing. The way he goes, it's a graveyard smash. I hate it with such passion that my wife and all my friends try to trick me into listening to it, and it is so overplayed at Halloween.
It's literally the only Halloween song there
I
is.
know, and it's on every 2 seconds. Oh, it's so overplayed. I hate it so much.
I mean, you can't deny Boris Pickett might be one of the greatest one-hit wonders of all time.
Absolutely.
Apparently, he's still going, right? No one decided to challenge him on it.
Undeniable graveyard smash.
Oh, you guys have a great day.
Yeah, you too, man. You too. We got a lot of hot takes on the text line. Like
Honestly.
someone said they can't stand Rush because they sound like D-bags.
Well, yeah, I think I saw somebody say it sounds like everybody's history and music teachers got together to make a band. And it's one of those things where, like, I like Rush, but I read that and I went, fair.
The Bare Naked Ladies catching a lot of shade. Nelly Furtado catching some shade on the text line.
Someone's taking shots at Nelly Furtado on the text line this morning, and that's crazy. Nelly Furtado is a Canadian treasure.
We've got friend of the show, Daryl, on the phone. What's it for you, man?
Can't stand Kiss.
Why not?
Well, Gene Simmons for one, but basically I just think they're talentless. They're terrible. Like, they've literally built their reputation on the fact that, like, here's how I picture the band concept meeting going with them. Let's wear Halloween makeup and BDSM outfits, hooker boots, to hide the fact that we can't play or write songs. Like, their biggest hit is one line, rock and roll all night and party every day for 3 minutes straight. And they call that a song. And people love this. I don't get it. Never did. I change the station whenever they come on. I can't stand them.
You sound like someone's dad from the 80s.
I try, guys. I try.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
Did you see last night, though, that Alexander Ovechkin is just a little bit closer to breaking Gretzky's record? I think he's, 7 goals away now?
Yeah. He's at 888, so 7 goals away. And I was looking this morning, so I wanted to see the Capitals have played 69 games so far.
Nice.
And that means they got 13 to go. So he's got to basically score every second game from here to the end of the season.
It seems more likely that it's going to happen than not.
Yeah.
And then I'm pretty sure I saw something online that the last game of the season is against Pittsburgh.
Ooh.
So there's a small chance that he could break the record against his old rival, Sidney Crosby there.
Dude, and I mean, already to do it on the last game of the season would be an amazing, like, storyline. To do it against Crosby would be so cool.
Do you think every goalie that plays against him as he gets closer and closer to the record is like, I don't want to be that goalie? Or do you think it's an honor to get scored on by Ovi to break the record?
No. If you're a goalie, the last thing you want is highlight footage of you getting scored on. The goal that passes the record will be replayed from now until whenever somebody beats it.
I guess it's like whatever that Arizona Coyotes goalie when he did that on the ice kind of move. They're probably grateful to whoever gets scored on for this one. They're like, stop showing my highlights.
That's just it, right? So I think that, this is as stressful for every goalie in these 13 remaining Washington Capitals games as it is for Ovechkin of like, he wants to get this done, although I think he's still got a year in his contract, so he could get it next year.
I think he'll keep playing, and he'll keep trying to get as many goals as he can to keep notching that up.
He could get it next year, but at the same time, if you're one of those goalies from now to the end of the season, you're like, not me.
Yeah.
It's the worst goal you'll give up all year.
The highlight of your career.
It's just you sprawled out on the ice while Alexander Ovechkin and the entire roster celebrate.
Because you know they're going to take that like moment from the game. They'll take like 2-3 minutes where the crowd celebrates. The whole team comes out.
You will forever, no matter what you did in your career, be remembered as the guy who was kind of in the way.
It's like going out to dinner, being a third wheel at your buddy's like dinner, and then he proposes to his girlfriend, and you're just like, oh, okay,
all right,
I'm
cool.
Just here right now.
I'll sit over here. I'll be in all of your engagement pictures, just looking bummed out.
This is the Brock and Dalby podcast.
I figured out why the world has gone to hell.
Oh yeah,
yeah. A little conspiracy here for you. Why don't you give me a little bit of background music? Thank you. I was reading through some articles and I started seeing some dates and some different things, and my brain just started putting it all together.
Okay, what do you got?
I'm like Charlie Day in that one episode of Always Sunny in Philadelphia. It's Pepe Sylvia. I've got it figured out. 2016, widely regarded as one of the worst years for our planet. Just a lot of bad things happened in 2016.
Okay.
One of them was the rise of the killer clown thing.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
When people started dressing up as
forgot about that.
Psycho clowns and like stalking people in parking lots and things of that nature.
All over the news, yeah.
It was huge. And as a result, people started getting like a little bit more fearful of going outside. People started assaulting one another because like they thought they were in danger. But more importantly than all that, McDonald's, the fast food restaurant, started putting to bed their beloved mascot, Ronald McDonald.
They did?
As a direct result, think about when is the last time you saw Ronald McDonald in a commercial, show up at an event?
Yeah.
Ronald McDonald has been quietly, not officially retired, but the company has made a concerted effort to use him in less and less of their marketing, their promotions, and their, like, basically hiring clowns.
Damn, you're right.
As a direct result, there's memos and stuff, as a direct result of the killer clown phase of 2016.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think the only time that I hear about Ronald McDonald is when they talk about Ronald McDonald House.
Right.
Yes. And you don't even see him in those commercials anymore with the sick kids.
Exactly. They've changed the logo. They've changed all this stuff. It is still Ronald McDonald House because you don't undo super valuable branding unless you're Elon Musk buying Twitter. But as a result of the killer clown phase, Ronald McDonald has been moved to the back line. They've brought out more. You see more Hamburglar. Grimace is everywhere now. And I think that Ronald McDonald's disappearance is directly responsible for why every year since 2016 has gotten progressively worse.
Did Mayor McCheese have anything to do with it? He's been real low lately, too.
I don't think Mayor McCheese is the villain, but I do think that the city's gone to hell on his watch and he should be held accountable for it. So if you are having a tough Friday today, if the economy's got you down, gas prices, all the strife between Canada, the U.S., the fallout of the pandemic, all of it can be blamed on the disappearance of Ronald McDonald.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
You ever heard the name Bill Chisholm?
No, but I like that name.
It's a great name, but apparently not a lot of people have heard of him. As of yesterday, he owns the Celtics.
Oh, like the Boston Celtics?
The basketball team, the Boston Celtics. He is apparently a Silicon Valley multimillionaire, maybe billionaire, who made a deal for $6.1 billion, is leading like a financial group, to buy the basketball team for what he says is just because he grew up in Boston and is a big fan of the team.
That's cool.
It's interesting because a lot of other like Silicon Valley people are like, we don't know who this is.
Yeah, how do we not know who a billionaire is?
We've never heard this. Well, that's the problem. We've got so many billionaires. They're not special anymore, but they are just out here buying some of the most successful. I read this is the most expensive sports franchise ownership deal in like pro sports history, at the very least in basketball. $6 billion. But now he gets to own the team he watched as a kid. Like, what a cool thing it must be to own a sports team.
If I owned a team, first thing I'm doing is making cheaper tickets and cheaper beer.
See, but you say that, but now you own the team and you're making all that money off the expensive tickets and the expensive beer, and people like Celtic fans keep buying it. At some point, you might be like, I like having more money.
True, yeah. I think if you're a sports owner, I think it should be like a mortgage where you get 5 years, you buy into it for 5 years, and if you don't win, then you got to sell.
You got to sell it off to somebody else?
That's what I think it should be.
Dude, sports would get so intense, and like someone's coming up to the end. Imagine you own the Yankees, and it's been 4 years. Like, people would go crazy trying to bring in all kinds of fresh talent, rigging games and stuff.
Because a lot
like
of these people buy teams, and they're just rich folks, right? So it's a hobby, but if there's a 5-year cap on it, you have 5 years to actually do something for the city, for the team.
It would be interesting.
Right?
It would definitely change the dynamic.
Or you could do like what the Green Bay Packers do, where they have like a fan ownership kind of thing into it. Like there's an owner of the Packers, but fans are able to buy a stake in it. And then I think you could let fans vote on what decisions you make, like if you fire a GM or a coach kind of thing. Like a board of directors, whoever pays into it can sit on those meetings.
I'll tell you this right now. As someone who worked in sports radio for a good number of years out in Edmonton, letting the average fan have any say in how the organization gets run, terrible idea.
They would make a lot of them shut up.
I don't know that it would. I think they would still. It's the people who don't vote in elections but still complain about our government.
It's up to you how the team is run. Let's see if your decisions actually work.
The Brock and Dobby Podcast.
You now own a professional sports team from one of the big 4 leagues. What's the first thing that you do? Got some text in here, 762-555. Jen says, buck a beer at the concessions.
Absolutely.
You would be the most popular owner in the history of sports. Like, who's that guy down in Atlanta that made their beers like $4 at every NFL game? Hugely popular and successful. Sean says I would put myself on the team like a backup. Maybe practice.
Well, like
roster.
Jackie Moon style, owner, player, coach kind of type thing?
I wouldn't want to take an actual roster spot because I don't want to ruin my own team. But like if I owned an NFL team, I would totally put myself on the practice roster.
Sure.
Just to say I was part of the team.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So let's say you, the biggest Leafs fan that I personally know, you own the Leafs now. What is the first thing you do?
I implement a dress code, honestly.
Really?
No suits allowed.
Oh, the other for the fans.
Yeah. No suits allowed at Leafs games anymore.
You show up at the gate, ticket in hand or not. You're wearing a suit, you get turned away.
It's either fan gear or casual attire. Unless you're sitting in a box, any actual seat, you cannot be wearing a suit.
You know what? I like having the exception for the box because it still lets there be like the corporate marketing.
If you can afford a box,
sure,
you can wear a suit.
You can wear a suit.
Yeah.
But if you're sitting front row, you got to be in a jersey.
Yeah, it needs to look like people actually care about the team if you're there.
I do love that.
And no Montreal Canadiens jerseys allowed either.
Wow. We're just fully do you make them take it off and then they can come in? Or do they get fully barred now knowing that they're a Habs fan?
No. You get a garbage bag on the way in. And then you can collect your jersey on the way out.
It's like a coat check?
Yeah.
You get a garbage bag to put on over your shirt. and you get a little chit that you can trade back in to get your tarp on the way out.
Exactly.
Somebody sell this man a hockey team.
Brother, if you saw my bank account, I'm not even close.
This is the Brock and Dalby Podcast.
Here's a headline for you. Disturbed singer sues landlord over mold. Safe to say he's down with the sickness.
Down with the sickness!
Which we figured we would do bad puns today.
And that's the easy one, but another one could be to say that disturbed singer sues landlord over mold. Sounds like David Draymond has become the vengeful one after this discovery.
Apparently, the landlord claims to have no idea, says the whole thing is a land of confusion.
Investigators were stupefied to find 10,000 spores in the air.
Damn it, I have one like that. Can I try it?
Yeah.
All right, disturbed singer sues landlord over mold. Apparently, the house was a disaster. There was about 10,000 fungi in the air. Same
That's
thing.
great.
Yeah.
Disturbed singer sues landlord over mold. Cleaners tried all sorts of chemicals, but found that the mold was indestructible.
David may be down with the sickness, but his landlord seems to be down with the mildew.
I still just can't get over the fact that David Draymond rents an
Rents a
apartment.
house? Yeah.
That's the crazy part to me.
You know what? I heard that he can't even... got a spore throat, so keep that in mind next time you go see them in concert.
Gross.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
It's tough to find out you're a wuss by watching YouTube videos, but we were watching some videos yesterday with the kids, and I got one of those, like the POV mountain bike videos where they show them going down these like crazy
Oh, those
steep
guys are gnarly, man.
mountain trails at like 40 miles an hour. I watched one of those, and I legitimately, in real life, from the comfort of my own home and couch, got anxiety.
Oh man, it's crazy how basically everyone learns how to ride a bike growing up, and then some people are like, want to get extreme with it, you know?
Some people are like, what if I, tried to ride this really fast? Some people are like, what if I tried to ride this really far? Some people are like, what if I did this with biking and swimming? And then other people are like, what if I took this childhood memory and pointed it directly down a mountain?
I respect it, man. Those videos are sick, but dude, all it takes is like one root in the ground.
Dude,
you hit the brakes wrong.
One branch that's lower than the last time you came through, one rock that juts out in a way you weren't expecting, and you just go, tuk, 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 all the way down. And it's crazy because, like, I know that it's probably more dangerous to do things like skydiving, like jumping out of a plane, but I can watch those videos and be fine. I would never do it myself. But I can't even watch the mountain bike.
No?
I just get full-on anxiety. It's those ones, and anytime someone goes swimming in deep caves, I'm just like, you're not coming up from there.
Oh, yeah. Dude, there's people that go on like TikTok Live that just crawl through caves all the time.
Right. And it's just like, why are you filming this? You should be really focused on making sure that you don't end up somewhere you have to gnaw off your own arm.
Do you think in the cyclist community, though, there's like beef between the different types of bike riders? You know, like there's the casual, there's BMX, there's mountain biking. And then there's cyclists, you know?
Yeah, well, see, I would assume there's definitely hierarchies, right? Everybody thinks their specific style of cycling is probably like above the other ones. And then they probably all look down and like, oh, you're just a casual, someone who just rides bikes.
I feel like everybody hates actual like road cyclists, though.
Yeah. People who get like go to work but wear the spandex.
They're
to
like
get there.
lame biker gangs, if you think about it.
Honestly.
They squat up together. They take over the road. They just don't commit crimes. They just slow down traffic.
They're that weird combination of like annoying but also not intimidating whatsoever.
Yeah.
But then I also feel like all different kinds of bikers probably unanimously agree that the craziest among them is rides his bike in the winter guy. That guy is the psychopath of the group.
That's just a guy that has a DUI, dude.
This is the Brock and Dalby Podcast.
Ed's word of the day.
Dalby, since Ed didn't leave us a word, you got one for us?
I do have a word that I think that most people might recognize, but you could learn how to use it a little more. Today's word of the day, permeate.
Permeate.
Permeate. P-E-R-M-E-A-T-E. Permeate means to pass or spread through something. So generally, it gets used a lot with scents and odors. For example, on Merriam-Webster, it says the scent of lilacs permeated the room.
So could I say something like Taco Bell permeates right through me?
To pass or spread through something, when you eat Taco Bell, you could say that it permeates you to come out the other side.
And then I permeate the air afterwards.
Or I was going to say the Taco Bell itself, when you get it into the car, permeates into the upholstery. Yeah. Or also another example could be, say, if you have a leaky basement and it starts raining or snow's melting around, that water permeates into your basement and ruins your weekend.
Or if you spark a lefty and think you can spray Axe body spray on yourself, you're permeated with the worst smell of all time.
It's not having the effect you think, despite its permeation.
Permeate. Use it wherever you can today, all right?
Want to be a part of the podcast?
Leave a message on the Bad Line.
The Bad Line is the answering machine for the Brock and Dalby Show.
To get the number, text the word BAD to 762-555.
Thanks for listening to the Brock and Dalby podcast.